I don't care how good or bad it is, any movie that puts the number in the title of the movie like this one did or like Seven did, just bad marketing. I'm John Hayeck and welcome to my movie thoughts. Scream 4, or Screform as the marketing play I mentioned at the beginning tries to convince you that it is. So Screform is the fourth movie in the Scream movie franchise, and as the original Scream asked, what's your favorite scary movie? My answer is that film. The original Scream from 1996 was my favorite horror movie of all time. I love it through and through to this day. Watch it every single October, love it, but I did review it a couple years ago, so I wanted to defend one of its sequels that I think gets a lot of unnecessary hate. Like this movie, it got mixed reviews when it came out, but I wanted to tell you guys that I think Scream 4 is actually an underrated installment in recent horror, because the original Scream did something very new, very meta. You could argue that Wes Craven's New Nightmare did a similar thing, but Scream, the original, really reinvented the genre and showed you it could be fun, and it could poke fun at what the horror genre is. And Scream 4 does the same thing, but in the 2010s. It updates what film looks like nowadays, now that everything is kind of centered around like endlessly sequelizing everything and rebooting everything and making, just endless spin-offs of everything. And the beginning of the movie hits on that to its core. The first 5 minutes is hilarious. You really see what the movie's kind of going for, and then it kind of pokes fun at other absurd plot twists by having absurd plot twists in it and addressing that those plot twists in and of themselves are absurd. So the writing for this thing, I think, was really, really clever. I thought that Scream 4, it isn't, of course, on par with the original Scream. It's not as tight, it's not as clean, but I did think it was a movie that had a lot of perks to it. It's a movie that I think still felt very fresh. Scream 2 and Scream 3, I'm not huge fans of, just because I felt like they got kind of boring. They were repetitious of the first one, and not in the clever way. Scream 4, I felt like, was clever. I felt like this was the movie that you can watch the original Scream, and you can watch Scream 4, and have a very entertaining two-movie Scream movie franchise. I really enjoyed Scream 4. The only issue I have with it, besides the fact that it feels like it's a little bit fatty at times, running on a little bit too long in some scenes, is that the actors do feel like they're a little bit past their prime at this point. And I understand, like, after being on your fourth movie, it's of course going to feel like you're living in these characters' shoes a little bit too much. But Neve Campbell was still fine in the movie. I definitely understand what her character was like kind of about, but at points you felt she was a little bit bored with what she was doing. Or even Courtney Cox and David Arquette, you're like, yeah, okay, like, you guys obviously have other stuff going on, like maybe your personal lives or whatever. Emma Roberts was a new addition to the cast. I thought she was good, but overall I thought the cast was okay, take it or leave it, but the writing is really what made this thing super snappy and super fun. I'd recommend Scream 4 if you guys have not seen it yet. It's something I definitely enjoyed. It's not a movie I rewatch every single October like I rewatch Scream, but it is a movie I really, really do think is worth the watch if you're a big fan of Scream, if you're a big fan of meta horror. Let me know what you guys thought of it in the comment section down below if you've had the privilege of watching it. You guys can also go over to mymoviethoughts.com, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and follow me on Twitter at JohnMake to stay updated with everything I am doing. Links to all three of those being in the description down below. You guys can also like this video, comment on it, share it with some friends. I'm John Hayeck, and as always, thank you guys so much for watching.